There's a certain kind of mind that never settles on just one thing. It starts with a harmless interest, maybe learning a new skill or watching a documentary, and suddenly that curiosity branches out into 10 different directions. One week, it's psychology. The next, it's music theory, then coding, then philosophy, then some obscure topic you didn't even know existed. To the outside world, this looks like a distraction. To the person living inside that mind, it feels like being pulled forward by an endless current of fascination. This is the psychology of people with too many interests, and it's far more intentional than it appears. At the core of this trait is an unusually sensitive curiosity response. For most people, interest fades once the basics are understood. For others, understanding the basics only sharpens the hunger. Their brain doesn't stop at, "How does this work?" It immediately asks, "Why does this exist? How does it connect? And what else is hiding behind it?" Each answer creates more questions. This isn't a lack of focus. It's a mind optimized for exploration rather than specialization. These people often struggle with the pressure to choose. Modern culture treats commitment as proof of maturity. Pick a path, stick with it, build an identity around it. But for someone with too many interests, choosing one thing can feel like amputating the rest of themselves. Their interests aren't hobbies, they're extensions of how they think. Asking them to narrow down can feel less like guidance and more like erasure. Psychologically, this is often linked to high cognitive openness and rapid associative thinking. Their brains form connections quickly, jumping between ideas in ways that feel chaotic from the outside but logical on the inside. They don't move in straight lines. They move in webs. This makes them incredible learners and creative problem solvers, but it also makes them vulnerable to self-doubt. When progress doesn't look linear, it's easy to assume it isn't real. There's also a quiet emotional layer most people miss. Many people with too many interests are searching for resonance, not achievement. They're chasing the feeling of alignment, that moment when something clicks so deeply it feels like home. When an interest stops producing that feeling, they don't see it as failure. They see it as information. But society interprets this pattern as quitting, even when it's actually refinement. The downside shows up when curiosity becomes avoidance. When every new interest is a way to escape discomfort, boredom, or the slow frustration of mastery, the cycle can turn exhausting. Nothing ever feels finished. Everything feels half-lived. That's when the problem isn't having too many interests, but not knowing how to stay with one long enough to see what's on the other side of difficulty. Awareness is the dividing line between a scattered life and a deliberately expansive one. When people with too many interests learn to work with their nature instead of against it, something powerful happens. They stop demanding a single lifelong passion and start building a rotating system of focus. One interest gets the spotlight while others rest in the background. They allow themselves to return, to pause, to layer skills over time. What once felt like inconsistency becomes integration. If you're listening to this and quietly thinking, "This explains me more than anything ever has," that's not an accident. There are more people like this than you've been led to believe. If this perspective feels uncomfortably accurate, consider sticking around by subscribing. Having too many interests doesn't mean you're lost. It means your mind was designed to roam before it builds. Your path won't look clean or predictable, but it will be rich, interconnected, and deeply personal. And if you want to hear more about the psychology that people almost never confront about themselves, the next video will land even closer to home than this one. Click it. It'll make sense when you do.